What if a laser level that costs significantly less than premium tools could still deliver the kind of accuracy you actually need on a real job site? At first, that sounds like a stretch. Because in construction, precision is not optional, it's critical. A slight misalignment can throw off an entire installation. Tiles start drifting. Door frames sit uneven. Ceilings don't line up the way they should. And fixing those mistakes later isn't just frustrating, it's expensive. It costs time, materials, and sometimes your reputation. Now here's where things get interesting. Most tools look great in marketing videos. Perfect lines, perfect conditions, perfect results. But real-world conditions are never perfect. You're dealing with uneven surfaces, dust, lighting issues, and time pressure. So today, we're not testing theory. We're testing reality. And the tool under the spotlight is the Firecore F93T-XG Laser Level. A laser level that claims to offer strong performance without the premium price tag. But the real question is simple. Can it actually deliver when it matters? Because at the end of the day, you don't need a tool that looks good. You need a tool that performs consistently. Something you can trust, job after job. So in this video, we're putting this laser level through real tests. Accuracy, stability, visibility, and actual job site use. No hype, no sponsorship bias, just real results. And by the end, you'll know whether this is a smart buy or a mistake waiting to happen. Before we jump into testing, let's address something that most reviews completely overlook: real conditions. Because here's the truth. A tool can perform perfectly in a controlled environment and still fail in real-world use. Most reviews are done indoors, on perfectly flat surfaces with ideal lighting. But that's not how construction works. On a real job site, nothing is perfect. Floors are slightly uneven. Walls are not always straight. Lighting conditions change constantly. And sometimes you're working under pressure. That's why this review is different. We're not just asking, does this tool work? We're asking, does it still?
Now that we've completed the horizontal accuracy test, let's break down what those results actually mean in real working conditions. Because raw measurements only tell part of the story. What really matters is how that accuracy translates into everyday use. With the Firecore F93T-XG Laser Level, we saw consistent alignment at short to medium distances. And that's exactly where most indoor work happens. Think about the tasks you perform regularly: tile installation, wall alignment, cabinet positioning, interior finishing work. In these situations, you're typically working within a controlled range. You don't need extreme long-distance precision. You need consistency. And that's where this tool performs well. It gives you a stable reference line that stays predictable as you work. Now, let's be realistic. If you're expecting zero deviation across all distances, that's not how laser levels work, especially in this price category. Even premium tools require periodic calibration. So the real question becomes, is the deviation small enough to not affect your results? And in this case, it is. The variation we observed is within a range that most practical applications can tolerate without issue. Another key advantage is simplicity. You don't need to overthink setup. Place it, power it on, and follow the line. That ease of use speeds up your workflow significantly. And when your workflow becomes faster, productivity improves. So overall, horizontal performance here is not just acceptable, it's usable, consistent, and practical. And that's exactly what matters on a real job site.
Now, let's move to vertical alignment. Because while horizontal accuracy gets most of the attention, vertical precision is just as critical. Any error in vertical alignment can affect structural appearance and finishing quality. Think about installing door frames, setting up wall partitions, aligning vertical panels. Even a small misalignment becomes visually obvious. So we tested the Firecore F93T-XG Laser Level against a plumb reference. This gives us a true vertical benchmark. At close range, the laser line aligns very closely with the plumb line, which indicates good calibration. As we increase the height, we begin to monitor any deviation. And what we observe is expected. The alignment remains stable at short to medium distances. At longer distances, a slight drift appears. But importantly, it stays within a manageable range.
Now, let's translate that into real use. For everyday tasks like door installation or partition setup, this level of accuracy is more than sufficient. You're not performing survey-grade measurements. You're aligning structures within practical tolerances. And for that, this tool performs well. Another advantage is visibility. The vertical beam remains clear indoors, making it easy to follow and mark. So instead of guessing or relying purely on manual measurements, you have a visual guide. And that improves both speed and confidence. So overall, vertical performance is reliable, practical, and well-suited for everyday construction work. Now, let's move down to floor-level testing, because this is where real-world imperfections become more noticeable. Floors are rarely perfectly flat. There are always small variations, surface differences, minor slopes, material inconsistencies. So we placed the Firecore F93T-XG Laser Level at one end of the room and projected the beam across.
We then measured multiple points along the line. At shorter distances, the alignment remains consistent. The readings are stable and predictable. But as we extend the range, minor variation starts to appear. Now, again, this is expected behavior. Laser levels in this category are not designed for large-scale floor leveling over long distances. But here's the important point. For practical tasks like tile layout or room marking, this level of accuracy is still very usable. And the biggest advantage here is speed. Instead of measuring each point manually, you get an instant visual reference across the entire space. That reduces human error, and it significantly improves efficiency. So while it's not ideal for large-scale leveling projects, it's highly effective for everyday indoor work. Now, let's take this tool outside, because outdoor performance is where many laser levels struggle. Sunlight is one of the biggest challenges for laser visibility. So we tested the Firecore F93T-XG Laser Level under direct sunlight conditions. And immediately, the difference is noticeable. The beam becomes less visible. At longer distances, it becomes difficult to track. Now, before you see this as a major issue, let's be clear. This is not unique to this tool. Even many mid-range laser levels face the same limitation. Laser beams simply don't compete well with strong sunlight. So what's the solution? There are two practical approaches. Use a laser detector or work in shaded or indoor environments. When we moved the test into shaded conditions, the beam visibility improved significantly. It became clear, usable, and easy to follow again. So the conclusion is simple. Indoors, strong performance. Outdoors, limited without additional support. And that's exactly what you should expect from tools in this category. Now, let's talk about something that often gets overlooked. Long-term stability. Because accuracy is not just about a single moment. It's about how consistent the tool remains over time. We ran the Firecore F93T-XG Laser Level continuously for an extended period and monitored its behavior closely. What we were looking for was simple. Does the beam stay stable, or does it start to flicker, shift, or lose brightness? And here's what we observed. The beam remained consistent throughout. No flickering, no sudden changes, no instability. That's a strong positive, because on a real job site, you rely on tools for extended periods. You're marking, aligning, adjusting, and if the output is not stable, your work suffers. We also checked heat performance. After prolonged use, the device stayed within a safe temperature range. No overheating issues, which means it can handle longer tasks without performance drop. Now, is this industrial-grade durability? Not exactly. But for its category, it performs reliably. And reliability is what matters most. Because a tool that stays consistent is a tool you can trust. Now, let's move into what really matters. Real job site application. Because no matter how good a tool looks in testing, its true value is revealed in actual work. We use the Firecore F93T-XG Laser Level across multiple practical scenarios. First, tile installation. We projected the horizontal beam across the wall and used it as a guide. Immediately, the difference was noticeable. Tiles followed a straight line, spacing became consistent, and the overall process became faster. Instead of measuring repeatedly, we had a continuous visual reference. Next, ceiling marking. Creating a level reference across a room manually takes time, but with the laser, we had a clear line instantly. This made marking positions faster and more accurate. Then, door frame alignment. Using the vertical beam, we checked straightness, and this is where the tool really helps. Instead of relying on estimation, you get a clear visual guide. Now, is it perfect? No, but it significantly reduces errors. And in construction, fewer errors mean less rework. Less rework means save time, and save time means higher efficiency. So in real job site use, this tool proves to be practical, reliable, and useful. Now, let's talk about efficiency. Because tools are not just about accuracy. They are about improving how you work. The Firecore F93T-XG Laser Level reduces the need for repeated manual measurements. Instead of checking alignment again and again, you get a constant visual reference. That alone saves time. And on a job site, time is always limited. Another major advantage is reduced human error. Manual measurements can vary. Even experienced workers can make small mistakes. But a laser line provides consistency. So instead of relying purely on judgment, you have a visual confirmation. This improves accuracy across the entire workflow. It also improves teamwork. When multiple people are working, everyone can follow the same reference line, which keeps everything aligned. So the benefit is not just individual efficiency, it enhances team coordination as well. And in real projects, that makes a big difference.
Now let's answer an important question. Who is this tool actually for? The Firecore F93T-XG Laser Level is designed for practical users. If you are a beginner in construction, this is a great entry point. It provides the functionality you need without a high investment. If you are working on small to medium projects, this tool is more than sufficient. It offers the accuracy required for everyday tasks. It's also ideal for DIY users, home renovators, interior technicians. Basically, anyone who needs a reliable leveling solution for indoor work. Now, if your work requires extremely high precision, this may not be the right choice. But for most practical applications, it fits perfectly. Now, let's talk about limitations, because choosing the wrong tool can lead to problems. If your work involves long-distance alignment, this tool may not be ideal. Because as distance increases, even small deviations become noticeable. Also, if you work mostly outdoors, visibility can be a challenge, especially in bright sunlight, unless you use additional tools like a detector. Another important point, if your work requires certified precision, this tool is not designed for that. It is not a survey-grade instrument. So for large-scale or high-precision projects, you will need a more advanced solution. But again, this doesn't make the tool bad. It simply means it's designed for a specific purpose. And understanding that purpose is key. Now, before we move to the final verdict, I want your input. If you're working in construction or planning to buy a laser level, drop a comment below. Firecore test. I read every comment. And based on your feedback, I'll create a detailed comparison video where we test multiple laser levels side by side. Because choosing the right tool should be based on real performance, not just marketing claims. Also, if you're finding this video helpful, make sure to hit the like button. It helps this video reach more people. And if you want more real-world tool testing, subscribe to the channel. Asif buildPro Insight, where we focus on practical reviews. No hype, no bias, just real results.
Let's take a closer look at what this tool actually is. The Firecore F93T-XG Laser Level is a cross-line laser level. It projects both horizontal and vertical lines. These lines act as guides for alignment. The tool is primarily designed for indoor applications, such as wall alignment, tile installation, ceiling layout, door positioning. The focus here is simplicity. No complex features,
No complicated setup. Just place it, turn it on, and start working. And that simplicity is what makes it effective, especially for everyday use. Now, let's clearly break down the pros and cons, starting with the positives. The Firecore F93T-XG Laser Level offers good accuracy for indoor tasks. It is easy to use, setup is quick and straightforward, and the beam remains stable during operation. Now the limitations. Outdoor visibility is limited. Long-distance precision is not its strength. And while the build quality is solid, it's not designed for heavy industrial use, so it should be handled with reasonable care. Overall, it has clear strengths and expected limitations. After all the testing, let's summarize the performance. The Firecore F93T-XG Laser Level delivers reliable indoor accuracy. The beam is stable, the tool is easy to use, it performs well in practical scenarios. Its main limitations are outdoor visibility, long-distance precision, but within its category, it performs well. And that's what matters, because tools should be evaluated based on their purpose. And for its purpose, this tool does its job effectively. Now, let's put everything into perspective. In the budget category, we have tools like Firecore F93T-XG Laser Level, Tavel Atom X5 Laser Level. These are practical tools, ideal for everyday use. Mid-range tools offer better precision and durability. Premium tools deliver maximum accuracy. So the decision depends on your needs. If you need affordability and practicality, budget tools work. If you need higher precision, go mid-range or premium. So here is the final verdict. If you were expecting high-end professional-grade precision, this is not the tool for you. But if you were looking for a practical solution, a budget-friendly option, a reliable tool for everyday work,
then the Firecore F93T-XG Laser Level is a solid choice. It does not promise perfection, but it delivers functionality. And in real work, that's what matters. Because speed matters, consistency matters, practicality matters. And this tool delivers on those points. If this video helped you, like, subscribe, and comment, compare. And remember, the right tool doesn't just make your work easier, it makes your results better. See you in the next one.